By the way, Minnesota, whoo, you got the Vikings against the Giants coming up this weekend, right? Imagine if the Vikings lose to the Giants, at the Giants. Adam Thielen is not pleased. He's their all-pro or Pro Bowl offensive receiver, wide receiver, and Kirk Cousins missed him a couple of times in their game this past weekend. And Thielen says that we got to change things up here.
At some point, you're not going to be able to run the ball for 180 yards, even with the best running back in the NFL. And that's when you have to be able to throw the ball. You have to be able to make plays. You have to be able to, hit the ball, the deep balls. You have to do that because otherwise it's too easy for teams to just tee up and rush the quarterback. So we have to be able to run the ball and pass the ball. In this league, you cannot be one-dimensional. It's just too easy to defend.
Okay, we'll get to the point, and we'll come back to this. Should he have said what he said publicly? Here is Kirk Cousins on KFAN in his weekly appearance, Under Center with Kirk Cousins.
I really want to apologize to him because there's too many opportunities where we could have hit him on Sunday. And post-game, when I talk to the media, I always say, hey, until I watch the film, it's hard for me to really give you a straight answer. Well, now it's Tuesday night. I've watched the film. And the reality is there were opportunities for him. The one that's most obvious is the 3rd and 10 at the beginning of the game. We're near midfield. That's arguably 7 points. If you put the ball where it needs to be, he's shown, number 19 shown that he will make that play. And he'll probably finish the play in the end zone and pull away from the defender. Adam's not just a really good player or one of the best players on the Vikings. He's one of the best players in the NFL, one of the best players in the world, period, regardless of position. And so, we want to, we need to, and when I say we, really, I mean I need to get him more opportunities, get him the football.
All right, I don't need to hear Adam Thielen say this publicly. I understand you're frustrated. What did you tell me that I didn't already know if I'm Kirk Cousins or a Vikings fan? You can't be one-dimensional. You have Dalvin Cook. We know he's a great running back, but you must be multidimensional with today's NFL offenses. We all understand that. We know that he missed you. We know that there are a couple of plays that he should have made. So now we put even more pressure on Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins hasn't done well with this pressure because he, of course, is the $84 million man. Every time we talk about Kirk Cousins, anybody, they mention how much money he makes. He knows this. He knows that he needs to make these plays. I don't think, now you made it public. You don't need to we make everything public, which I appreciate. It makes my job easier. But that's if I'm Adam Thielen and I'm frustrated, I say to Kirk Cousins, how do we make this better? Telling the fans, going public with it, that doesn't help Kirk Cousins. So does he go, oh, gosh, I got to get better and find Adam Thielen? We know that. You got Diggs and you got Thielen. You got Dalvin Cook. The weak link is Kirk Cousins. And Kirk knows that. I don't want to reemphasize that. I want to say, how do we fix it? Don't point out the problem, point out a solution, and do that privately. Okay. Yeah, Fritzy.
Yeah, I'm not saying you got to give the guy a cookie or anything, but he couldn't have handled it in a more classy fashion, Cousins. I know it doesn't change the direction the team's going, but he said exactly what you would hope he would say in that situation.
But he shouldn't be in that position. I mean, Adam Thielen is a wonderful receiver. We get it. It's not like Kirk Cousins is not trying to win. They need to take some more chances. I think they need to be a little bit more, wide open. But you have to have time. You were playing against the Bears. And you start to hear you see things that maybe aren't there. The pocket gets muddy, as they like to say. You hurry things up a little bit. And Kirk Cousins looked hurried. I'm not going to say scared, but he looked hurried. And because of that, you release the ball sooner than you want to. And I think that's going to be an issue for this team. Right now, you have Dalvin Cook, you have two good receivers, you have a good tight end, and Kirk Cousins is the weak link right now. Yeah, Paulie.
Cousins isn't benchable because of finances, correct? And they don't have a high-end backup behind him.
Who's their backup in Minnesota?
I think it's Sean Mannion. No offense, but he's not considered by NFL ratings a high-end backup.
Yeah. Yeah, McLovin.
Isn't this all Coach Mike Zimmer's design? Remember, he fired John DeFilippo because he was passing too much last year, the coordinator. So he wants old school football. Can't that work in today's NFL? You got a great running back, a great defense.
Yeah, but you didn't have that great running back last year, right? Wasn't Dalvin Cook injured?
Well, yeah, he was, but he still thought we're passing too much, and he got rid of it.
You needed to pass more.
Yeah.
Last year, but I still think you have these weapons. Why isn't Minnesota dangerous?
I think it's coaching. They wanted to.
Mike Zimmer is a defensive-minded guy who wants to run the football. Why did you go get Kirk Cousins? If that's your offensive philosophy, why go get Kirk Cousins? I mean, you could have had Case Keenum and gotten the same production and half the price. That's what I don't understand, what their logic is.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.